Okay.
Welcome to the Young
Echo
Podcast.
with your hosts, PJ and PG. Welcome, everybody, to the new Young Echo Podcast. Welcome to episode 3. We have a very special episode for you. We've got quite a few visitors today.
Just a few more than the two of us.
Just a few more than two. Just a couple more. But this is PJ, as always.
And PG.
And PG.
Yeah.
And we are here with a bunch of friends, but we're going to introduce those to you here in a little bit. PG, how you been doing?
Doing great. We are learning a lot and talking through some things at our event that we're at right now.
Oh, the event we're at right now.
Yeah, that we're going to talk about later.
Nah, let's just go ahead and jump into it right now.
All right.
We're actually at an event. We're at the Georgia Cumberland Conference Youth Advisory. And what is that, Jeff?
That
PG?
is the time, PG, yeah. That's the time we get together with the different youth leaders from Georgia Cumberland Conference, and we plan things out. We talk about ministry. We encourage one another. We lift each other up, and we pray for each other, and we get to relax a little bit. It's an amazing time. We've done it now. We talked about this for 5 years.
Yes. In this iteration, around 5 years.
Yeah.
We were doing some things before that, but so it's a great group. And we're going to go around and introduce you to all the youth pastors and some chaplains from around our conference. So sitting next to PG, we obviously know you can't see this, but we're going to start with the newest, the rookie of the group who's been getting lots of hazing. No, we have not been hazing him at all.
He's lying. I have been hazed.
Come on now.
Introduce yourself.
Introduce you. Who are you?
Yeah.
And where are you at?
Yeah.
So right now I'm sitting in front of everybody. But no, I'm
Beautiful.
Pastor Ryan. I am at the McDonald Road Church, and I'm currently at day 45, hanging out with some of the greatest people I've ever met.
So just so everybody knows, I left in May, and he gets to follow me. So pray for him because a lot of
It's
people are
hard to
saying,
follow perfection.
Yeah, it's hard to follow somebody that did so. No, and he's got some things to clean up, but he's having a blast over there. So pray for Pastor Ryan.
Also have some very big shoes to fill physically.
What size shoe are you, by the way?
13.
Yeah, that's good. Ryan,
I wear a balmy 9.5.
probably 9.5.
wide.
Right. So, hey, another cool thing about you is that this isn't your first career.
No, so actually I'm a second career pastor. Been in the world as management and running plants and industries, doing everything in the electrical field, and felt the call from God about 5-6 years ago. Wrestled with him, and here I am, hanging out with some of the coolest people I've met.
Well, welcome to the team. We are so happy you are a part of us, and it's
Awesome
cool to have you
you're here. It's awesome that you're here.
Oh, yeah. All these other people.
Yeah, you have not met yet, but here they come.
Sitting next to him, we've got, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Pastor Andrew. I am the associate pastor at Duluth Seventh-day Adventist Church. We'll be coming up on 2 years there in January.
2 years, wow.
2 years.
Awesome.
Yes,
That's cool.
absolutely.
Sweet. Next.
I'm Pastor Scotty. I'm at Bowman Hills out in Cleveland, Tennessee, and it'll be 3 years in January that I've been there now.
Are you old enough to be working for
Are you
years?
the youngest one here? That's what I was going to ask.
I think I am. Yeah, I am the youngest one here. Yep.
How old is the youngest one here?
24 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's all right.
24.
You're the youngest. I'm the oldest. So. All right.
All right, my name is Josh Woods. I am the chaplain at Georgia Cumberland Academy and just finished my 11th year.
Wow. You look way too young to have been doing that
Just
for 11
hit
years.
40, man.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
it's all downhill from here, right?
Right.
PJ?
Yeah.
You making 40 look good, brother.
Curtis Motor here, youth pastor at the Colosseum Church. Always enjoy this time together. It's a lot of fun.
How long have you been doing it, by the way?
I've been at Collegedale now. It'll be 7 years
Nice.
at the end of December.
Yeah, and we're only counting. He was a pastor, like a regular pastor before that, but we're only counting you.
He's not regular anymore. He's not regular
That's the only thing
anymore.
that matters. Right? Yeah, you're regular.
Hi, my name is Brandon Carnes, and I am the chaplain at Atlanta Adventist Academy.
Awesome. How long you been there?
Ooh, a little over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, second school year.
Awesome. And how's the second school year going for you?
It's been going great. We got a lot of great things going on, mission trips, and teaching, and it's a great and very interesting campus. We do some innovative things there.
Nice. Next.
And Chris Massengill, chaplain at Collegedale Academy, and it'll be 15 years at the end of the school year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And Chris, actually, Ryan, here's something compatible. It's your second career too, right?
Correct. Career business. Very short year or two of
Was it
that.
about a year?
Yeah, 1 year. And thanks to Cohutta Springs Camp Ministry,
Camp Ministry.
switched the trajectory of my whole life.
That's awesome to hear.
That's awesome.
And me and Chris are kind of in that similar boat. I didn't graduate with theology, but I didn't really have another career before that. But yeah, but thanks to Cohutta. And next to me,
Tabor Nudd, and I am chaplain over at Collegedale Academy as well. Lower campus.
the lower campus.
Yeah,
What
lower
does that
campus.
mean, lower
What
campus?
does that mean?
I'll get some clarification on that. So that is elementary and middle school.
Elementary and middle school. Nice. So how many kids are you kind of in charge of?
Probably 500, 550, somewhere in that area.
Nice. That's awesome.
Wait, how long
That's
you been
awesome.
there?
And I am starting my 12th year this time, and that was 3 years before, and some churches in between. So kind of the same as Chris. 15 so years at Collegedale Academy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We've got some good long timers there. That's awesome. Well, cool. And go ahead. What was that? Lifers.
Lifers.
Yeah,
Lifers.
speak into the microphone, please. Yeah, come on. Rookie mistake.
We are sharing some mics, so
Yeah.
if you hear something, we may ask somebody to repeat something if they're not looking at the mic. So just so you know, we may have some fun times here tonight.
Yeah, because you know our podcast is usually 2 to 4 of us,
Yeah,
and so
and
now
so
that it's
we added.
10 of us,
Yeah.
but it's good. So hey, we're gonna go ahead and go into like what's been happening lately around the conference, and we're actually gonna ask some of the guys around the circle to see if they want to share anything that's coming up in their area. I know that Jeff, you have something coming up soon.
Yeah, we got something next weekend. I
Yeah.
mean, not
You
tomorrow.
can't register for it anymore.
Yeah, you can't
but
register. But
tell me about the event.
Young Adult Life Retreat. It's my first time going through that, so I'm excited about that with our young people. So yeah, next if you want to come to it next year.
Yes.
But yeah, we've got that coming up and excited about that. And then the Christmas season, and we've got Young Adult Mixer in Atlanta coming.
Nice.
If you'd like to know more information, you can message or email us, get a hold of us on that.
What does that mean, young adult mixer?
So it's a professional mixer. It's going to be partnering with a ministry in Atlanta, and we're getting young people and some young professionals to come and just talk about their professional career and maybe get to meet some people that are in the career they're going in, lawyer, doctors. We're getting different professionals to come in. So that's exciting. December 13th.
Nice. Now, I will say it is the holiday season, so there's not like a ton of events and activities happening. In my neck of the woods with the youth, we are starting heavily to start looking for summer camp workers. So if you're interested in working at summer camp, reach out to us.
It'll change your life.
It can possibly
Yeah.
change your life trajectory. It changed a few of ours at the table's lives.
Even if it doesn't change your job, it can change your life. That's what I
Yes.
say. Like even
Yeah.
if yeah.
For good.
Yeah, for good.
For the good.
Yeah.
So just to give you an update on that, we have sent out applications for our returning staff, and it technically is open for anyone who wants to apply for summer camp to apply now. So if you're interested, apply for that. I will be doing a lot of recruiting for that starting in January. And right now for me and for PG, it's just a lot of end of the year meetings. But yeah, make sure you go to our website to see what events are happening around the Georgia Cumberland Conference. But we also know there's a lot of pastors in this conference, a lot of churches that are doing youth things. So we'd like to highlight any of them if they have any events coming. I know that there's a cool thing happening for the 3 academies. Josh, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Chris and Brandon and I are going to be doing a GCA, CA, and AAA Vespers coming up on December 5.
First ever, right?
The first
We-
ever
yeah,
of that
that's
kind.
awesome. That's awesome.
That we know of.
That we
For
know of.
seniors,
Yeah.
for seniors only. This is exciting because we tend to only see each other on the basketball court and soccer and all those things, and that's great. But it's just tough to be beat all the time. Chris. It's not true. It's hard. It's hard on us. But we just really just want to get each other together to worship together for a night and allow that to be sort of the culture of our relationship.
Amen.
So I'm excited about that. So yeah, December 5, we're looking forward to that. Pastor Gary Rustad's going to be bringing the word for us. And,
Ooh, the president. How'd you get the president to do it?
and
They asked him 3 years ago. No.
and PJ won't be there, just for the record.
Right.
PJ will
I'm
be
at summer
busy.
camp meetings. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Wow. Thanks for throwing me under the bus for there, brother. All right, yeah, that's a pretty cool event. Anything else happening in you guys' church that you want to promote? Anything else coming? I know it's the holiday season, might be busy, but
Sure. At the Collegeville Church, we're going to be partnering with Sleep in Heavenly Peace and build some beds. We're going to actually do it during Sabbath school time. So we're going to not have Sabbath school, but we're going to go ahead and,
That's awesome.
yeah, we're telling kids to put into play the things they've been hearing for throughout the year, be of service, and utilize doing good for others. Utilize your gifts for doing good to others is what we're trying to point out. So on November the 22nd. So that's next Sabbath.
I love it. That's really cool because our group, I heard a part of our group of guys talking about the Sabbath in the van as we were driving down here. And it was pretty cool that they were talking about that verse in Isaiah that's often used, at least when I was a kid, my mom would always use it. Like, don't do the things you like because this is what the Bible says. But in context, and I heard you guys saying it, in context, the beauty of the Sabbath in that verse is actually about service and helping others and putting others first. So I kind of love that concept of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's the idea, especially during the holiday season, right? We have a lot to be thankful for, especially that we have beds to sleep in and what have you. And there are kids who don't. So the fact that they're about making sure that no child sleeps on the ground in the Chattanooga area, I think it's awesome. So we love the fact that we have the opportunity to partner with them for that.
So, Curcio, I know you're kind of right now, it was you and PG before, but I know that you guys did Yield Ministries, which was the youth ministries for a variety of churches in the Collegedale area kind of coming together. Sure. Do you guys have a Vespers on a regular basis coming up soon or not? I don't
Great
know.
question. Yeah, we have the first Friday of every month, we have Yield Vespers.
Okay.
Where there are 5 churches represented right now. Students from all those churches come over and we worship together. So it's really, really fun.
Let me ask you this. Are other people allowed to come? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just-
yeah. No, we just said 5 churches that are represented that are
Right.
part of Yield officially.
Yeah.
But any area youth ministry can come on by. So it's real neat.
nice. So where do you have it if someone wanted to show up? Did you say that already? Did I
So
miss-
right now we don't really have it hosted at McDonald Road.
Awesome.
St. Adventist
But
Church.
that could change, and if you come to one, you can get on the texting list, and they could know because sometimes they do move it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's a really cool thing that PG and Curcio started a while back ago of kind of this. Collegedale's a big community, but often they were almost competing against one another sometimes for their youth groups. And then you had
building or getting rid of the walls that separate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we need to minister together and
Right.
do mission trips and do Sabbath schools and things together. Now doesn't always work out, but it's the way we plan. But it's going awesome right now. So yeah.
Yeah, and we'll probably highlight Yield a lot more in an upcoming podcast.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to give you a heads up of those things that are happening. Anything else on the docket that you guys want to talk about, or should we kind of move on to my next important question? All right, next more.
Before you hit that important question, we also have a middle school Yield Vespers that meets.
Oh, nice.
Pastor Tabor and I partner there.
Awesome.
And we do that on the second Friday of each month. But that's at the school,
Okay.
at Collegeville Academy Middle. We don't tend to open that to the whole public area, but
Gotcha.
we just want to let you know that we are thinking about our middle schoolers as well. So just
Nice.
just keep us in your prayers.
Right. Awesome. That's cool. So you can see that we're actually doing a lot in the Georgia Cumberland Conference. These guys put in a lot of time. So I have a question for you guys. On this trip, oftentimes one of our traditions is to seek out, and I know it's not the most healthy thing, folks. Please don't at me. It's okay. Every once in a while we will have some, but we seek out.
Oh, go ahead. I want to add after you say what we're seeking. Go ahead.
We
Go ahead.
seek out good donuts.
And let me preface this.
Yeah.
Like Jonathan is in the nice way, the nicest way possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
A
Go ahead. Uh-huh.
donut snob.
That's fine. I'll take
Okay,
it.
yeah,
I'll take
a
it.
nice, loving donut snob.
He's a donut connoisseur.
Yeah, that's
Come on.
even
That's
that's
a
even
nice way to
better.
put it.
I like my phrase.
I think that 2 people would call me a connoisseur. The rest of them would call me a snob.
But I'm saying it's loving because I think it's awesome because I love coming and having like, what place did you research this time? Where does this fall? We joke about Krispy Kreme, which I don't like, but some people love, and
Best
Jonathan
donut
doesn't.
ever.
PJ doesn't. Yeah.
Right?
donut ever.
Best
No,
donut
Ryan,
ever.
it is
Ryan.
not.
Best donut ever.
When
He
you
has
have
to
the
learn.
donuts,
Yeah.
you will
about
stop
to
being an
come over
infant.
the
It's like that memory verse. When you get true food, you don't have to be with the milk anymore.
But who would have thought that eating a donut would be an experience? And with
Oh, yeah.
PJ, that's exactly what it is. Like
But
you
I'm
have this
telling
whole
you,
experience.
A dozen fresh hot donuts right off of Krispy Kreme with it's amazing, man.
I'm with the Rook on
It's
this one.
great.
You're with the rookie.
And with the rookie on this one.
And I appreciate a good donut, and I've appreciated coming along with you on your donut exploration. But
I believe you.
I think you're off on this one.
best-
I'm not saying that Krispy Kreme is tier 1.
Oh, he has
But
tiers.
I have 4 tiers.
Yeah, 4
so
tiers.
one, two, three,
It's
four,
not a
yeah.
tier 4.
And
It's not a
And
tier 4.
100% tier 4. They taste process once you taste the good
put a
stuff.
trash can at the end of
Over
the
and over.
conveyor belt. That's where they go.
That's
It's
where they
perfect
go.
for me. It's perfect for me.
I have to say, this conversation about donuts is far better than any donut I've ever had. I just like hearing you guys talk about this.
Right. Well,
I'll say this. When Jonathan first took me to a place that had good donuts, I took a bite of that donut. It was a creme brulee donut 1 year ago. And I remember thinking to myself,
his memory.
wherever this man says to eat a donut, I'll eat a donut.
I remember that day. I remember Scotty being like, "You said something. It made, like they're donuts, right? Like they're donuts. They're all." And you took a bite, and you're like, "Oh my god!" Like your mind exploded. I loved it.
Well, that's the thing is PJ says we go seeking for donuts.
Yes.
We don't really go seeking. We just follow
Yes,
PJ
yeah.
wherever he takes
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. He gets sometimes charged double. I love that too. That's
You know, though, he's rubbed off on me a little bit because I was on the New England trip with GCA a couple of years ago, and we were in New York City, and I asked him what was the name of his favorite donut place in New York. So I went to his PJ's #1 all-time donut place in New York City.
which is what?
Yeah.
Which is what?
it's called the Donut Plant.
Yeah.
Now, I did say I just went there a few months ago. It was still really good, but I would say it's maybe not my favorite anymore.
So let me
But
say,
they have one donut that's my favorite.
in New York, I think I texted you when we were in senior class trip, New York. We went halfway across town. We went walking like an hour out of our way to get to this shop. And it may have been yours or Julie's, another person we know. And we got there and they were all out of donuts. So it has impacted me to go search for these donut shops. Like, it has.
You gotta
And
go
you're like
early.
disappointed when there's not a donut there.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it has helped me because I no longer eat cheap donuts. Like, I am not tempted by them at all. Like, if Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts or Tasty Donuts come my way, I'm not. Sorry, I threw it under the bus. I'm not. All right, but here's my question to you guys. What is a donut? What is the definition of a donut?
Whatever
When-
Jonathan says.
When I no,
That's a donut.
the best donut when you pull that e-brake up and you turn the wheel.
All right. Tabor, I haven't heard you speak for a while. What in your mind is a donut? What's a donut in your mind? Listen, your middle schoolers want to know.
Yes, that's a tough question. I just think of something that tastes good. That looks like a zero.
Cheerios.
Cheerios.
Is a Cheerio a donut?
No.
Is a bagel a donut?
No.
Why
even
not?
A, even
What-
a sweet.
Because a
I feel like
donut is fried dough
Okay.
with sugar.
But you can bake a donut.
What?
Let's say it has to
I've
do
had a
bake it up.
savory donut before, though. That's what?
Maybe that's not a donut then.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
what?
But I feel like it has to do
Wait,
with
you
the dough. It's called a dough.
Oh,
You said maybe.
okay.
Are you
Wait, but they
convinced
make
it's not a
cake
donut?
donuts.
You know,
Yes,
PJ's
they
coming
do.
in
But it's
hot
still
with these
dough.
existential questions. I don't know.
What did you say?
It's still dough, cake, or
It's still dough.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
there's cake donuts,
What about cronuts?
cronuts. Okay.
Wait,
That's,
Five
those are
daughters
different
and
types
I'm
of
not a
dough,
chef.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're not a chef, but what?
I'm not a chef, but is cake batter dough?
I think it is.
So if you cut a cake in a circle, it's a donut.
No, I
Does that make all
don't
cakes
think
that are
it is.
cylindrical
You think there's
donuts
something
now?
different about it?
Okay, so there's
It's
so
not the
there's
shape.
It's batter.
Go ahead.
Cake batter.
well cake. So cake batter. I bake. I like to bake a lot. You got cake flour. You've got regular flour. And cake flour is super refined. So if you get actual true cake batter, I don't think I'd call it a dough. I don't think- it doesn't
So
have
what
that
makes a
Mic
dough a dough and not a batter?
The way he
you can
said it.
grab
Did you
it.
see how convicted?
You can grab it and it
If you
doesn't
can
fall
see
through
his
your
face,
hands.
folks, he could preach that, and I would be like, yes, I'm bummed.
You're like, I got this.
So you got it?
Well, so what it says?
Are you cheating?
ChatGPT.
No, no, I'm not
ChatGPT.
chatting it. No, I'm not chatting it. It says a donut is a sweet fried dough pastry that is either ring shaped or filled, and it made using either yeast or chemically leavened dough. That's it.
Interesting. He got
Wait,
terrible.
so that's saying a donut hole is not a donut.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
because it's not filled, right?
Right.
Well,
And
it's also
not
not.
ring-shaped.
It's not a ring shape.
And and if you go to a donut shop, they always have a fritter, and they call those donuts.
But you just call it a fritter.
But they
Fritter
call them
donut.
donuts in the store.
They're
Like
just
it's a
imposter donuts.
style of donut.
Wait,
You got
here,
crullers that are donuts.
here you go. While the
do like
classic
crullers.
shape
What
is
are
a ring
those?
with a hole, donuts also come in other shapes like balls, twists, and long johns, and can be filled with various sweet fillings.
Who is this we're supposed to be listening to?
Yeah, who is this?
Where is
Who's
this?
this?
Google-
Is this
Google-
Google?
Yeah,
Is this the chat?
Google AI.
It's the Google.
Okay.
It's a Google. Okay.
The Google AI.
Google.
It's the Google.
I feel like PJ already has an answer.
Well, I've defined it in my brain.
Okay.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
We got to hear from the
But I have
connoisseur.
defined it as because you have cake donuts, right?
Yep.
So there's something. To me, it's a fried dough. It has to be fried though, because a bagel is dough or a bread type thing, but those are boiled. They're not fried. So that's why it's a bagel. To me, it's the fried because a fritter is considered a type of donut. A cronut is considered a type of donut because it's fried. A cake donut is one that's fried. If you bake it, sometimes they call that a donut, but that is not a donut. That is a cake. You bake a cake, you fry a donut, and that's why it can be any shape,
I like that.
right?
I like that.
Okay.
I agree.
Are
Yeah,
we-
I can
are we in
get
consensus?
out of it. I mean, as long as I get to have one.
See, I don't know about this savory donut thing, but to me, like I said earlier, if it's fried and it has sugar, then it qualifies as a donut.
Yeah, we're there.
An elephant ear, like have you ever had those at a county fair? Like those big, that's a donut?
Yeah, would
It's
you
a type
or
of
would you
donut.
consider a funnel cake?
Yeah,
donut?
funnel
Yeah,
cake.
funnel
See,
cake.
that's
Yeah.
the one that throws me off. So I do think it is donut. It's in the donut family. It's in the
It's a distant
So now
cousin.
it's
twice
called
removed.
distant cousin.
Yeah, it's
huh?
a distant cause
It's-
second cousin once removed.
It's the cousin you only hang out at the fair with.
Yeah, it's at the fair. It's not everywhere. You only hang at the fair.
Okay, maybe I should clarify. Not powdered sugar. And I know some donuts have powdered sugar,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about like that nice
Like a nice,
Frosting.
warm, crispy cream donut.
a coating of sugar. I don't know about Krispy Kreme either. I'm kind of
That's a requirement in your mind. The sugar is a requirement.
Yes.
It's not just the fried dough.
correct.
What, so
No, because some don't
some
have it.
donuts
Some are just
have
kind
like
of
the
so many
right,
sugars.
right.
because
Some of the
you
frosting
don't
stuff.
eat chocolate. So
Correct.
if it was a chocolate frosting, you wouldn't like that.
No.
As the, yeah,
That-
but
I
it's
mean,
still a donut.
It's still a donut, but
Still
I
a
won't
donut.
eat it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only difference.
Tabor, you were gonna say something?
No.
You lost it. Okay.
I lost
All right.
it, yeah.
If
Sorry,
you don't
it's
get Tabor
gone.
in the moment, you lose him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Tabor.
So if we've offended you with any of these comments on donuts. Tabor just walks. Tabor, come back to the table.
He
Don't
almost
storm
rage
out.
quitted on us. All right, now let's get serious. Now let's get into a little bit of ministry talk here. All you guys are in ministry. We were talking a little bit during. So we have a meeting planning out the rest of the year, some of our events that will be coming up. We were planning Oasis. We were planning Regenerate. If you don't know about those things, don't worry. We will tell you more in future episodes. But those are some of our events that we were kind of planning for. And one thing that we talked about was the philosophy of our ministry. And the philosophy of what I talked a little bit about this on our last podcast, the philosophy of my ministry and what I would kind of like to see. And we started to talk about kind of mission and the mission of our church and the mission of our schools and the mission of our hospitals and the Seventh-day Adventist Church, why it was established, right? It was established as kind of with a remnant message, and that's something we've been talking about this weekend. And the remnant message that Jesus is coming back, and the calling, the Great Commission, and the calling of to be his disciple, and to make other disciples, and to baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and to have this mission kind of concept. And the early Adventist church, they were all about spreading that gospel, the three angels message, the remnant message, telling people Jesus is coming soon, telling them about the gospel, the core gospel. And so we started thinking about, and we got this discussion, so we thought we would talk a little bit about here, but how we feel like we need to maybe reestablish within our church, within our ministries, the concept of making and calling our young people, and really our whole church, because I think all of us believe that we're here to integrate the whole church, but to call our young people, especially as they're coming in, to be missionaries and in whatever they do. And so I kind of want to open that up and see what you guys think of that concept. We've talked about it a little bit already, but how do you think we've been doing in that mission as an overall entity over the past few years first?
I believe we've done a good job.
Okay.
I mean, as a global church and being intentional about preparing people to be missionaries, oftentimes we focus a lot overseas, and we know that there is work to do locally. But I think as a church globally, we have done a good job of being intentional about preparing people to do missions and to spread the good news of Jesus Christ and the remnant message that we have to the world.
Okay.
I think what was inspiring to me is when the hurricane hit last year and then spread up into North Carolina, it was our students who responded at our school and said, hey, we want to go do something. Will you organize and make this happen? And they did it over their fall break, and that was not planned. But to see them asking, it's inspiring to see that there is a group that want to do things, and you don't have to go to another country, and they just made a big difference locally.
That's awesome.
I was going to say, one of my passions is mission trips. We've talked a little bit about this in the podcast before, but we want to see more young people go on mission trips and serve and choose a life of service no matter what their career. And that's what I think we're talking about. Like, we as a body of believers can encourage people to serve. Like, and I was talking to somebody about this earlier today about the corporate world. How you advance in the corporate world is pour into the people who are underneath of you, and we do it a little different in the church. Like, you need to pour into the people who God puts in your path, and they need to pour into the people that God puts in their path. And so I think as adults, and it's our jobs, those sitting around this table, it's like, yeah, that's what my job is, but we can encourage others who maybe it's not their job, they're going to volunteer, to care about others and serve. And I think that will translate to more young people doing it.
I think we've done a really good job of helping people understand that we should do mission work, that we should do evangelism, we should do these things. I think maybe one place that we could strengthen is instilling it into who we are, not just something that we do, but something that we are. And Scotty, I don't know if you took a class from David Hartman at Southern, but Dr. Hartman's got a book called Winning Ways to Witness, and in it he kind of talks about the idea of evangelism as many times we see it as something that we do. So if you were to put your life in a pie chart, right? I have time with my family, I have time for my career, I have time for this, and then usually what happens is that evangelism or missions, it gets this little tiny sliver, of time. And if we bring that mentality to the table, often evangelism ministry, it doesn't happen. But rather he presents a new kind of paradigm where it shouldn't just be a pie chart, but rather a spoke wheel, where in the middle is evangelism, and he calls it evangeliving. And so that everything you do in your life, your job, your family, church life, everything, it springs from mission work. So that your workplace becomes your mission field, your family becomes your mission field. All these different areas become an intentional place where you are doing mission work, and meaning that you are trying to get people to see the love of Jesus. And I loved that mentality, and that was the first time that I had ever heard that mentality before, and it was in college. And that wasn't, for me, speaking from my experience, that wasn't necessarily instilled within me as something, no, this is who I am. Evangelism and mission is who I am, not just something I do as a slice out of my day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I completely agree, and I think that's for some reason that's something that's really difficult for most people. I've had a lot of conversations recently about this, and we tend to really isolate ourselves into this idea where we can go overseas and be the evangelist and kind of put on that hat, play that role outside of ourselves. And we're more comfortable doing that than we are to, say, talking to our friends and our family about this, because it becomes suddenly more personal. Like, who are you? We're no longer playing a role, but we're actually showing who we are, changed through Jesus Christ. And it's much more difficult to get people to start thinking about their everyday lives in an evangelistic way than to say, you go overseas and play this role as somebody else. to do that, and getting people to think that way is a very difficult thing. But I love that piece of this where we're talking about discipleship, right? And that's what we do on a weekly basis when we come together for church, is we encourage each other towards that goal, because the people that we encounter during church every week are not the ones that are overseas. They're the ones that are encountering people in their workplace.
And I just heard you mentioned discipleship there at the end. I just heard something about discipleship, that we should disciple people, like who we are, right? We're discipling people so that they disciple up to the 4th generation. And there's actually I'm not going to get the scripture off the top of my head. It's just, I heard it recently at a men's retreat, actually, at Georgia Cumberland conference. And I'm like, man, that transforms how you kind of think about discipleship. I'm like, not only am I going to want you to have a relationship with God, but I want you to be strong enough to mentor somebody else to have a relationship with God up to the 4th, not generation, but 4th person on that list. And I'm like, man. So yeah, and sometimes why we go on overseas trips is to get people excited about missions and service, and come back and be like, I want to continue doing that. Get it. I use the term addicted to mission. I know addicted usually isn't a positive connotation, but we want our young people to do that. And some places I think we allow the focus to be elsewhere, and we need to continue to look for ways to refocus.
Yeah, I think one thing that I think we've done really good is, like, from a world or numbers standpoint, I think our church has done pretty good when it comes to missions and to spreading the word throughout history, sort of, through the history of our church. But I think one thing that has been a struggle recently in the history of our church has been, like you guys are saying, bringing it into the culture of who I am. And I think that's been something that was lost, really. Like in the New Testament church, you look at the way that people who were coming into the New Testament church treated themselves and others. It was, I am not going to support missionaries. I am a missionary because I'm a Christian. Because I believe in Jesus Christ, I'm a missionary. And I think that's a little different. Like, we get baptized into the church, into Christ, and it's, I need to work for Christ. And one of those things is, submit my life to him, let him live in me. And I can do that by supporting missionaries. But in the New Testament church, it was, I can do that by being a missionary. And I think that cultural aspect of it has been something that, at least in my life and from what I've seen, has been a struggle to see. I am that thing.
Something that, go ahead, David, sorry.
No, I was going to say too, I think honestly, I think it reflects, there's been good and there's been bad, which I know we like to highlight the good, but I think sometimes it depends on the culture of the church or the spiritual environment that they've grown up in. If it's been positive, that's great, but there's also been some negative, I'm sure, some different feelings of individuals who've been hurt or haven't had many spiritual leaders speak life into them or give them opportunities of serving and being missionaries locally or abroad or whatever like that. And so sometimes it just kind of fade off, and we failed in that. I think because I think as spiritual leaders, whatever church or location or school you serve at, we need to be looking for opportunities to speak life into these kids, to give them opportunities, to let them know that they're important, that they have purpose in their life, and to do that. And so we do that sometimes, but I know there's other moments that we've definitely missed it as well. And so it's definitely a challenge for each one of us. I guess as we talk about it, I think about personally, like, probably some that I've missed as well and stuff, but it's something that is hopefully driving each one of us to continue to do our job and do the best that we can each and every day.
Yeah, so I'd like to challenge our listeners and us as well, because one of the things that I said at the end of our kind of meeting was I wanted to challenge each and every one of us in our spiritual realms of influence to keep kind of that Great Commission and missionary kind of concept at the forefront of what we do and how we prepare the youth and the parents of our congregations, our sphere of influence, our schools. Because I will say this, while I do feel like historically our church has done an amazing job, we're a world church, we're in every country, we've spread the message, but I feel like in recent years, at least, and this isn't the most, I would say, objective, I don't have the stats to go, but just from kind of what I see and what I hear from young people, there's less interest in being pastors. We have less pastors' pastoral studies. The stats are showing that. We have less teachers going through school. And here's the thing. Part of it's, well, we don't make the money. or we're going to have to make sacrifices to do that. And why don't I just be a doctor and pour money into this? Or I can be more of an influence if I be a lawyer, or if I go into a high paying job. And there's a lot of, and I'll be honest, as a parent, I have seen myself even influence my kids in a way as to be high achievers instead of being high mission minded. And so I feel like as we get closer and closer to the end, which we believe is coming soon, we see all these kind of markers of last day events. We need to be even more intentional about bringing up a generation and being a generation, not just bringing them up, but being the generation that says, you know what? Everything I do has to be mission minded. It doesn't matter the job. It doesn't matter the money. I know I work with collegiates at summer camp. So many times the decisions that they're making are based upon what are they going to make? What's a good job? Am I going to get a good internship? Will I get through school quicker? Right? It used to be not very, very rare for a kid to work 5-6 years at summer camp. Now that's rare. But there's so many pressures to get ahead. So many pressures to get a good job. So many pressures to get an internship. And it's like, oh, you'll be influential that way. No, there's no bigger influence than actually service and actually doing the thing. And I'm not saying summer camp's the only place, but it's a huge place. I mean, for me, and so I want us to kind of wrestle with that in our own lives of how am I preparing my kids, how am I preparing my students, my young people to see past this kingdom, because all those things are just earthly kingdom stuff, to the next kingdom. Kersey, I thought you were going to.
I think, and I don't know if this is the direction that you're taking us, but I think this is a really good thing to sit on here for a second, because I think growing up in, at least specifically in the context of where we are and here in America, there is this American dream chasing after the title and thinking that if I don't have the title, then I don't have influence.
Keeping up with people that are influencers.
Exactly. Yeah. And we have this influencer mentality right now, especially with the rise of, the social media and all that kind of stuff, that I need to have a strong platform in order to influence. Right. And I think that plays a huge role, much deeper than what we see and what we talk about, because we have this mentality, like what you're saying of, I need to get the better internship. I got to get the leg up. And what's dangerous is you can frame that and think, I can't do mission unless I'm in that influential position, right? Yeah. But you look at the disciples, once again, Scotty, what you're talking about with the early church and everything, and even the teachings of Jesus, that the lower you are, the more influence you have, right? And that's what Jesus does, is he steps lower to serve. And I think that just flips this whole paradigm on its head.
Well, it was interesting. Those who had the most influence, the Pharisees, the teachers of the law, missed the point. The disciples who were the fishermen had no influence, had the most influence in the end.
Well, the thing is, if we're going to talk about mission, I think a redefinition may be appropriate of what mission is about.
Okay.
Because even as we take young people on mission trips, sometimes they just want the experience. They just want to travel. They just want to say that they went somewhere and did something that mattered. And they don't let that change them, because they come back home and they go right back to their lives here in America. And I think that part of it is, if we were to really look at it at its core, I'm not going to start preaching here. I'm not going to do any type of etymology of a word. But what I'm trying to get at is, if we go back to the foundation, Jesus gave us a new, quote unquote, commandment, which is to love him above all things and to love my neighbor as I love myself. So to be mission minded and to be service oriented is to love your neighbor more than you love yourself. And I think that this world is focusing so much on self-love that it's taking away from the mission. And we're told that towards the end of time, love is going to grow cold. And we see it when people are being so self-centered and not so love-forward. So with that thought, I think if we redefine what is at the core of mission, our young people will start to understand that mission begins by, yes, seeking God and loving him first, and then second, being selfless and loving my neighbor more than I love myself. And that, I think, is going to help this whole concept of being more mission minded.
And getting out of you were talking a minute ago, Andrew, about social media and influences thing. I've used this phrase probably not on this specific podcast, but on other ones we've done. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think when we sit and say, well, I've got to get the internship, or I've got to get this, or I've got to get that because I need, or whatever, even from looking at it from fear or looking at it from what you think you need. I think if we change that to be, how can I serve? How can I be the lowest and serve somebody else? All of a sudden that goes away and I can bring joy instead of trying to grab it, instead of trying to get it wherever I can.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, I think it eliminates like so many issues that we have with other people, even in our own faith. Like, oh, you don't practice the same way I do. You don't believe the same way I do. You know, in the New Testament, missions was the reason theology was developed. I mean, these guys were first commanded to go out and do all this missionary stuff. And it wasn't until after they were involved in missions that we get all these letters from Paul and from Peter and from John and from Mark and from Matthew. And that's when we get all of this theology coming out. And it was because missions was solving issues and allowing them to say, oh, yeah, let me actually share who Jesus really is.
There was questions because they were met needs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then people asked more questions and they were able to answer those questions because they had a personal relationship. But that doesn't happen if there's no mission. Mm-hmm. And those questions don't get asked if I'm not involved in missions. And, you know, and then it's just, oh, you know, you believe this way, I believe that way, you know, conflict. But I think missions would solve so much of that if that was a part of who we are.
Another thing that, as you were talking about the comparison, right, and some of the other things that were said there, something that hit me a couple weeks ago as I was preparing a talk about kingdom growth and what the true kingdom of God is, right? The kingdom of God isn't what we build here. It's not the wealth we build here. Like, this is all temporary. But it made me think, because a lot of people are scared to be missionaries or scared to be teachers or pastors or take a lower job without pay because they say, well, I have to sacrifice this or I won't have enough money. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That's the same lies that the devil was telling at the beginning. He was telling Adam and Eve, oh, God's only giving you this. He's not letting you have that tree. And then he started to question them like, hey, is God really fair? Is he enough for you? He put in their minds, God's not giving you enough. He doesn't care about you. What he has to offer you is not enough. You need more. You need to be like God. And so we're feeding into that like, oh, but I'm not going to have enough stuff. What? That's saying God's not enough for me. If God's enough, it doesn't matter what job we have. All that matters is that we're serving him. And I think that's kind of sunk into even my thinking, if I'm all honest with you. Good, sorry.
No, you're good. When I think about my students, I see a real desire to do good in the world. Yeah. Praise the Lord for that. You know, the desire, the heart is there. The culture that we live in is a macro culture. It's a results-oriented culture. More results.
Yeah.
Just a few results aren't okay. Just a little bit of money isn't okay. Just a few followers isn't okay. We need more. If you don't have a lot, then it's not good enough. So when they think about change in the world, they're thinking about if you're not doing a lot of change, then it's not enough. It's not good enough.
Right.
You don't do a lot of change by sitting down and doing one Bible study at a time. You do a lot of change by making a ton of money, building the organizations, having a 501c3, doing those things. They think in macro, but that's not the way of Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's our goal is to try to put that into them is you need to think micro. Jesus did it one soul at a time.
Yeah.
And to be a pastor is to do that, is to do it one soul at a time. And it's difficult to go against their culture of macro in this way because you can't do ministry in macro. You have to do it in micro.
Yeah. And Jesus is the example. He had 12 disciples.
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of followers, but he was losing them as he got closer to his mission.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he had 12, and sometimes he take like I always when you were talking about he takes the 3, but he also then the woman at the well or the demoniacs. He's like, I only need 2. I only need 1 in this town.
And they changed the town.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to be reminded, and this is a good statement to think about: is that don't lose focus driving by the mission field trying to get to it. right? People, the mission-minded thought is going to be wherever your feet are planted is where your mission is. And I think if we lean more into that, we may help change the big thought of we have to do all things instead of where the focus is.
I'm going to mention one more thing. Oh, go ahead, Tabor. Do you want to?
No,
yeah,
just
go ahead.
Just to carry on that thought too, I think the Great Commission is more specifically stated as go into all nations. It's wherever you go, make disciples.
Absolutely.
So it's just a thought of living an evangelistic life wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It's all around us, wherever you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
that's
think
awesome.
even in this country, we have lots of nations.
Yeah.
If you think about
Yeah.
it, like there's
Yeah.
different sects, there's different
Yeah.
people that think differently.
Well, and one thing about you may think like I don't have the skills for this, or I don't have the ability to do whatever is in front of you. And I mentioned the woman at the well. I was thinking about that the other day, and how her weakness was, one of her weaknesses was she went there alone. She went there not around people, and God took what her weakness was and said, now you're going to influence all the people that know you, the people that are around your town. I want you to influence those people. And she did. And so like your very weakness, or wherever you think you're weak in, God can take it and make it a strength. That's where we know it's God. That's what Paul says. All the way through the scripture, you see that from Moses all the way down through, like God can take wherever you think you can't, and he can make it be an amazing opportunity for him.
All right. Well, we've been talking a lot. We could probably talk a lot more. I know this group, and they get a lot more shy around these microphones. I mean, usually we're yelling at each other. I don't, no, but I thank them for their fine words. But I just want to challenge our listeners, whether you're an adult leader, whether you're a youth, no matter where you are in life. I want to challenge you to what we've been called to do as a church and as followers of Christ, and that's to serve, and that's to be missionaries in whatever we do. That's the most important thing, because we want God's kingdom to come, right? And so that's my goal as a youth director. I know that's one of the goals of PG is to do that as well.
Can I have a challenge for our listeners?
Challenge them,
okay.
bro.
Next week, or whenever you listen to this, whatever that is, a week, buy a donut for somebody else.
Buy $1?
Donut.
A
Buy
donut. He brought it full circle.
Buy a donut for somebody else.
then buy a
Give
donut
to
for
serve
someone
to
else.
serve somebody. Buy a donut
Unless
for
you're
somebody.
really into the health message.
Yeah,
Full
buy an
circle.
apple.
That's a donut. Put a hole in it.
Put a hole in it. Fry it.
Yes.
Put some dough around it.
But apple pie. All right.
Apple pie. Yeah, it's coming.
But serve in it, whatever you do, definitely.
Yes. Well, hey, thank you for listening to the Young Echo podcast, and hopefully you are getting to know a little bit more about the Georgia Cumberland Conference and what we are trying to do here. If you want any more information, please go to our websites or email us.
And you'll get to hear us next month.
Yeah, next month we'll be back again with some new info. So on behalf of the Georgia Cumberland Conference Youth Department and the
Young Adult Department.
And all these guys were
The Youth Advisory.
everywhere out. This is pretty much almost everywhere in the conference.
Yeah.
And all the youth leaders, we want to thank you, and we'll hear from you soon.
See ya.